Welcome back then to the National Hockey Centre here in Glasgow as we move into the National Plate Final, and this one's got a bit of intrigue. Two each sides that like to score in their respective divisions. Dunfermline Carnegie know what it's like in this stage, and a big final occasion. They were in the playoff final for promotion and relegation, trying to out of the NL2 and into the NL1 for the first time ever. Didn't quite work out as it happened, but they know what they need to do to get up into NL1 perhaps next season. But they have had the experience in recent weeks up against Highland, who are at the sharp end of National League 3, 4th place in National League 3, and a decent side in that division, and as I say, do score goals, and brought down a bit of a contingent as well from up north. Two intriguing sides, hopefully for a good final here, the plate final. Rob Harwood back with us in commentary. Western Wildcats player, Scotland international. Rob, a division apart, do you think that should mean that there'll be a big gulf between the sides, or do you think that in a final it doesn't really matter too much?
I think in a one-off game you never know what could happen. Highland could push Carnegie to the end. I think if Carnegie really show their strengths, they've got a couple of really good players in there with Mikey Ross and Stephen Glass, both ex-Scotland internationals, both experienced heads, and if they can get on the ball and dominate the game, then I think it could end up comfortable for Carnegie.
For Highland, some experienced players in there. We were talking before we went in there about Gordon Udall. He's kind of came back up north, played for Falkirk for a number of years, but they're missing one or two, I believe, youngsters as well.
Yeah, I think they're missing Ali Douglas, who's a Scotland under-16 international, really promising young player coming through. So I think he'll be a bit of a miss for them today. But yeah, as you say, they've got a few experienced heads in there that I'm sure will help to carry them through the final.
It is Carnegie though, through the heart. Not quite the touch though there coming in from Ian Bruce, who's furthest forward, but nice little interlinking play, 2 or 3 good passes in there, and I know of that as well. Andrew Doyle with the number 10 on his back. Dunfermline in the predominantly red and black, Highland with the navy and the fuchsia flares, can we call them flares? Stephen Glass, as aforementioned, down in that back line in this near side. You'll see him, I'm sure, and number 14 on his back. Robert Wallace on that far side. And here is Glass. Trying to wriggle it through. Ross Watson in the way for Highland. It is a Carnegie ball, as expected, with plenty of possession. Perhaps on paper the overwhelming favourite. It's a surprise if it turned out to be the case, but you never know. Division apart. Is there an advantage, Rob, for Carnegie, who were only here 3 weeks ago playing in a big occasion final?
Yeah, I think when you play in these big games, the more you play, the more comfortable you become in the occasion with a bit of a crowd. They'll get used to the pitch as well, yeah. So I think Carnegie will definitely feel the more comfortable of the two sides, but if Highland can build their way into the game, then I'm sure they can give it a good go.
Here's Ian McFadden for Highland, just a little tap away though. Good work from Michael Ross defensively. Further forward, here's Neil Robertson towards the baseline. Not quite coming through, perhaps for Doyle, who is nearest. Here comes Freddie Swift with another remarkable headband. We've seen one earlier. Nice community club, Highland Inverness based. Variety of teams. Inside of done relatively well at the National League 3 level this year. Glass. Prod through and hope from Bruce. Umpires are Ross Anderson and Neil McAlpine.
Yeah, it's been quite a scrappy start to the game so far. Another team really holding on to the ball. Yeah, both teams trying to go forward at the first chance, but yeah, nobody seems to be getting a hold of the game just as yet.
Weave away by Hans de Kock, and an early, more severe whistle from our umpire. Hand up an acknowledgement from Doyle and an apology. E. Mackay, the Highland captain, trying to go for something a bit different, looking for Swift, who's making the run. Long from Ian McFadden. Watson came in. Swift was there, and some protests. Highland looking for a penalty corner, but not coming.
Yeah, I think Gordon Anderson got away with one there. I think tried to make it look like he was looking to play it off the side, but that was cheeky. I think that was fairly deliberate.
Well, it's something to try and keep it in from Swift, and he did keep it in. And it comes, and goal! Highline lead, fist bump, Darren Allen, National League 3 side, Allen front.
It's an excellent set-up play there. Really good composure along the baseline, good skills, and does really well to find the pass there to lay it on a plate, and a great finish across the goal.
Now look at it from behind. And really, ball smashing in there from the other end. It was Michael Ross with it. But after weathering the first 5 minutes with plenty of possession Dunfermline had, just a little couple of moments, and Freddie Swift, the number 22, has been very influential so far as Ian Mackay clears. Feeling neutral, I guess, with Highland the underdogs. That's exactly, I guess, for the Roy the Rover stuff you want, is the underdogs to take the lead.
Yeah, it forces Carnegie now to really come out and attack to try and get this equaliser, and that might just open up the game a little bit more for Highland as well.
Glass. Ross Smith just darted it away. Glass leaving well. Ball's across. Other side now. Anderson down that line. Looking for the reply here quickly here, Carnegie.
Yeah, it was a bit of a hopeful ball across there in the reverse. It might be better served keeping the ball on the stick and looking for a corner.
Just some whistles by that. In fact, it's going to be a penalty corner.
Yeah, really good midfield play from Mikey Ross there, letting the ball come across his body, opening the pitch up, and then making a really nice pass into the D to win the corner.
So first penalty corner of the match. Dunfermline looking to find the leveller very quickly after going surprisingly behind. They may well feel after having most of the possession in the early stages. Neil Robertson across to inject.
Yeah, they've got set up with two castles here. I would expect it to go to the near one for Mikey Ross.
And there goes the defender, line breaking. So down to 3, which makes it a little bit easier here. Yodo back on halfway. Doyle weaving and weaving and weaving to find space, but puts it wide. And took a little nick on the way through, clearly, because it's been given as a long corner. Allen defending the goal scorer. Popped up towards Yodo. It's the 2017 Dunfermline Player of the Year. Fired up towards Freddie Swift. Interception on there if it came, but still will come with Highland with E. McFadden.
I think both teams could be a bit more patient with their build-up. They're trying to play the really long 30-40 yard passes, which are maybe 3 and 10, 4 and 10, as opposed to just transferring around, building up and keeping it simple.
Doyle space here. Roberts wide with Glass. Off Glass's foot and the manoeuvre. Good defending though. Watson dispossessed though is DeCock. Little shove there on Michael Ross of Carnegie. Their free hit. Robertson. Right off the chest. It's a penalty corner, which, well, the Highland players are saying, well, surely that's dangerous, but just in the wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, I think it took a nick off of the Highland player's stick before it hit the chest, so it's I think that's the right decision for a short corner. Didn't make advantage of having only 3 defenders in last time round, did Carnegie, with their penalty corner. What can they do? So, next chance. Robertson injects. Different this time, goes to Glass, who comes back. Here's Doyle. Penalty stroke, loads of sticks, loads of bodies flying in, and the stroke's being given here. Yeah, they did well to rescue that. The injection was a little bit off, but had to take it in his front stick. I think it's quite a harsh decision for a penalty, but he must have judged that he was in the action of shooting. Andrew Doyle then to level this up for Carnegie, and he does. 1-1 then, and Dunfermline will be relieved to be back in level terms. Fairly straightforward penalty stroke, and well, that might settle 1 or 2 nerves or worries after going behind for Dunfermline. It's coming away. Through the middle is Paul Weston, trying to pick out Doyle. For there was Cooper. Highland ball. DeCock with the loft.
Not quite what Watson was intending. One of the younger guns on the Highland side.
Yeah, he found good space down in that left corner and showed a good control with his first touch, but maybe just a little bit more patient with the final pass.
McFadden wide. Robert Wallace sneaks in. Carnegie with quite a few forward here making runs. Doyle. Good interception by his fellow number Mackay, the Highland captain. De Kock again, trying to go for something inventive, Hannes De Kock. Wallace puts it wide, might get it back. Ian McFadden in the road. Highland got through to the final of this play after the shootout, after a draw against Granite City. Dunfermline comfortable against St Andrews University, 8-2 winners. Highland winners 4-1 in the quarter final. Dunfermline's 5-2 winners over Hillhead. It was perhaps a surprising result.
Yeah, that was a very good result for Carnegie. Hillhead are pretty solid National 1 team. They've been in the National 1 League for a number of seasons now, so yeah, it was a bit of an upset, and that'll give them a lot of confidence going into a game here against a lower league team.
On the flip side for the Dunfermline, obviously didn't get up through the playoffs, but they were found wanting in the first round of the cup. Always difficult going out to your side, 8-0 in the cup competition. A fairly dominant display in that day.
Yeah, it was in the end. They did make it difficult for us. It took us a while to break through, and once we got a couple of goals, you know, that made it a little bit easier. But as I said, they do have a few really strong players, and if Highland can manage to keep the ball away from them and not let them influence the game too much, then they're really in a game here, yeah.
Highland put up quite a bit of fight against Inverleith in the cup, and he went out 6-2 in that one. Carnegie looking for something, but it goes against them, and quickly here Highland break from the free hit, but a bit too quickly for the run of James Eridal. Here's Allen. Jimmy Stewart looking for an option. Came through nicely for Weston. Weston again, popped up off Watson. Glass took a couple of deflections. Wriggling through there. Bruce tried to get the space wanted. Back it comes here with Jamie Stewart. Off Allen. Highland break on. Lovely skill. E. McFadden. Plenty of Carnegie while he's back, but switched across there to Koch. Through the D it goes, but hacked away despite the best efforts there of David Harris.
Yeah, Ian McFadden's been impressive so far. He's had a few nice touches of the ball. He's looking confident, happy to take players on in 1v1, so that might be worth keeping an eye on for later in the game.
Glass. As the Cook has that one covered. Also coaches the side as well as playing. Just over 15 minutes left in this first half. Highland took the lead through Allen. But quite quickly, Dunfermline equalised with Doyle from the penalty spot. Harris trying to wriggle through it. Is there free hit? E. Mackay, the captain. Oof, almost driven nicely into the spot, but Eridale was there. Couldn't get the touch. Oh, and there is a touch, but just going to wriggle away from Doyle at the other end. Would it be fair to say, perhaps, tentatively, both sides are fairly comfortable with where things are?
Yeah, neither side really building a lot of pressure on the other. Highland have struggled to really form any kind of attack since their early goal. But at the same time, they're not under a huge amount of pressure from Carnegie either. I think both sides are just warming their way into the game, quite happy with the 1-1 score at the moment.
Glass with the next chance to try and get the ball, and he wins this one back. It's not cleared well. Glass wriggling through. Oh, and Doyle was waiting but couldn't get his stick on it.
Yeah, great skills there from Stephen Glass and a really good delivery across the goal into the danger area, but nobody there to put it away.
Time and time here for Ross. Oh, deflection, and well, I think Robert Gillespie's going to claim it, possibly in the line, but Dunfermline Carnegie are in front. They've turned it around.
Yeah, that just shows you the kind of areas that you want Mikey Ross on the ball there. He sees the space, drives round, stick on the ball the whole way, nobody able to tackle him, and that's well anticipated there, just to tap it in ahead of the defender on the line there.
Yep, I think we'll give it to him. He was on the line, just made sure it was going in. And Dunfermline then, the National League 2 side in front. Ross. Glass wide. Neil Robertson. Robertson across, fired in at some pace, but no one there and ready to get anything on it. Sad it was a. I was going to say I thought maybe Highland got a stick on it, or one or two Dunfermline players thought that. Long from Mackay. Quite the pass intended, so Highland get it back. Now looking to try and get back on level terms if they can muster up a chance. Well, they could do. What a ball that is through here for Gordy Udall. Challenge came in through at the last second. Back it comes with Mann. Oh, it's a great strike. It's a wonderful save. Can't get it clear. And just wide it goes. The follow-up effort from Freddie Swift, but that's a good reply to going behind.
Yeah, it was really well defended in the first instance, and then gave the ball away, but the keeper does well to get his glove to that, and then a really good block on the line right at the end there. Great last-ditch defending.
Well, it's been turned over here, and Highland's chance ends, but now Smith as well, Chris Smith to defend from a potential counter at the other end. Well, Matt Jones, the goalkeeper, I think it was last week he won Player of the Year for Carnegie. I think he was almost retired and then kind of stuck around and continued to play this season. Has a wonderful season, and he's said he's going to enjoy the rest and he'll be back for next year as they'll be looking for promotion. Dunfermline perhaps looking for a third goal. Doyle trying to flick it back. Support coming in. Bruce was there. More support, and then Stephen Glass. Captain's goal, and now a cushion for Carnegie.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the D there, some really scrappy bits of play, anyone trying to get a shot on goal, and Stephen Glass that it falls to in the end, just who you'd want it to fall to in a calm finish.
We were staying talking to just to the right of your picture between umpire and one of the Highland players. I think there's been too much chat going on, back chat. And he's certainly explaining what happened. I wonder if Gordy Udall had thought there was something going on in the middle of all that, but chat had Dunfermline now are 3-1 up from being one behind.
Yeah, they've just got to be careful with that, Highland. The last thing they need is to go down to 10 men needlessly for a bit of back chat to the umpire. They need their full 11 on the pitch to be able to compete and get back into this game.
Perhaps just seeing that difference in National League 2 to 3, just that punishing quality Highland had. You know, to be fair, they did well. They've probably had 2 chances in the game, they've scored one. That other one that they had a minute or two before Dunfermline's third, that's perhaps just a slight difference there, that now instead of being 2-0, it's 3-1.
Yeah, that is the difference really. The higher up you go, that you'll get punished, and Highland didn't punish Carnegie, and the ball goes up the other end, and Stephen Glass is a very composed finish.
Apologies if you see one or two breakups in sound and picture. Trying to fix it as quickly as possible. Great to have you with us. Thought a busy day here at the National Hockey Centre. Of course, you can join in the conversation using the hashtag Scottish Cup. Ball going the way back to Carnegie, and Glass from deep. Going particularly long, it came off a Highland stick and kicked away from the shot from Ian Bruce. Glass wheels away. Fortunately, not met with the run that was happening from Anderson.
Yeah, Anderson's another experienced player in the Carnegie team. Had experience in National 1 with ourselves, Western Wildcats, a few seasons back. Played for Falkirk as well, so he's another player that will be happy to play in a big occasion like this.
Wallace looked to turn but came into trouble. But did get the free hit, so looking for the right pass and perhaps found it. Mason trying to help it on its way in. Wallace. And it's Highland's ball. Down the channel, Michael Ross, good burst of pace as well. So many jerseys back there. But could Highland turn it to their advantage with so many back? It's hard to get so many forward, I guess, in a hurry. Robertson spotted. 5 to half time. Glass. Now perhaps a few more forward, but Allen stopped in his tracks. They do have the ball. When they're two getting frustrated now, including Gordon Udall, who's looking for the ball to his stick, but David King couldn't find him. Perhaps if they can keep it 3-1, Highland might well want half time pretty soon because they're perhaps feeling a bit tired. However, they're being presented with a gift here. Here's Allen. McFadden. Oh, that gift didn't come to anything.
Yeah, they've been a bit starved with the ball since Carnegie got their third goal. They've really settled into the game and started to dominate, and Highland are really struggling to really get a foothold in the game.
Ross flinging wide. As Rob just said, it's been fairly calm and possessional stuff. They've kept hold of it pretty well. Carnegie. Alex Mason driving. Still going here, looking for the cutback, but cleared ahead of Ian Bruce.
That was nice play from Alex Mason to start with there, getting himself into a good position in the D. He recently graduated from Strathclyde. He played instantly against Highland in the same league for Strathclyde for many seasons. So he'll be looking to make an impact on his old rivals potentially.
Wallace for the wider support. Back in there is Robertson. Trying to wheel round the cock. Robertson absolutely hammers it off the face. Well, it's going to be painful for Highland. It's painful for the player, but it's painful for the side as well because they've conceded the penalty corner. Everyone wincing in the crowd, let alone the feeling down there in person. It's the captain, Ian Mackay.
He just slips at the worst possible moment there. It's really unfortunate.
That's a sore one when you can see the penalty corner and getting absolute blatterer in the face at the same time.
Yeah, you can almost accept it when you get the foul for it and you've done something for your team, but yeah, that'll be a double whammy for him there.
He's back up and run round. He's on the sideline, just taking a bit of a breather for now, and that's just a quick check. I think Freddie Swift was acting as physio. But they do have a penalty corner here, Dunfermline. If they can get a fourth, they may well feel that'll be a big margin. It might be too much for Highland to come back from in the second period. Neil Robertson to inject. And for the second time, we've had a line break from Highland. I think it's Gordon Udall again that's done that. Twice he's been pinged for that.
Yeah, you can see they're just having a discussion at the top of the D now. I wonder if they'll look to use that extra man and use a bit of a routine as opposed to the traditional straight strike.
Doyle is the one in the centre. It's going to be Doyle. It's saved and cleared by Allen. And they just go for the direct route. A couple of times that's happened now. I don't think they made full use of the defender light that was there, but here's Glass though, it's still alive here, going the long way round. But there was Udall back to defend now, to clear. Perhaps he can join in an attack. David Cooper thought dispossessed. Glass, good skills. Couldn't find Doyle. So Carnegie ball, the disengaged umpire just giving a bit of a nod and a signal to turn it over.
Yeah, Highland will just need to watch these tackles. I don't think they'll get away with many more of the big breakdown stick tackles as Carnegie are going forward.
Well into the final minutes here. Fadden trying to wheel away. Won't quite find Cooper off his foot, and Glass carries on. 30 seconds to play. Bit of an exasperated look by one or two in the stands, including Rob next to me, about what happened there, but Highland can't really profit. Slipping a slide, final few seconds, that should be that for the first half. And that is that for the first half. Well, Dunfermline Carnegie on top after going behind for Gordon Allen after 7 minutes or so. But a penalty stroke was awarded and was finished by Andrew Doyle 6 minutes later. Gillespie and Glass adding to the scoreboard, and it means that the favourites before this game, National League 2 side in Dunfermline, who had some heartache here in the promotion playoff final, may well be on course for some silverware here 3 weeks later in the plates. Dunfermline 3, Highland 1, which we will look over some of the goals. Your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, it was a really promising start from Highland, getting the first goal of the game, and you just wondered if they would maybe be able to kick on from there, but Carnegie did well after they got the penalty stroke and equalised. They've been in control. They've settled into the game really nicely, and they're well in control at the moment. So Highland will just be looking to get a bit of a foothold back in the game early in the second half and hope that they can get the next goal and really start to put some pressure on the Carnegie team. They have had chances, as you see here, a really good block just on the line at the end here, and that was to keep the scores at 2-1. And as you were saying earlier, that's the clinical edge here from Carnegie that put it away to 3-1, and it's just extended the lead a little bit more.
So just look through it, as this was the moment, that was a sore moment, and so some of the action, some of the goals in that first period. We'll be back shortly for the second half by the half-time here in this plate final. Dunfermline 3, Highland 1.
Some presentations with the runners up, Glasgow University. Let's make sure to keep the applause going all the way to the entry levels. And now, next up, the winners of the men's district fight final 2019 is Hillhead 2s. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to applause the two teams on the benches now. Glasgow University 2s and Hillhead 2s. Players start to welcome teams back. I'll expect the second half of the men's Scottish Plate Final 2019. It's Dunfermline Carnegie and Highland.
So welcome back then, second period in this plate final, and well, there's a bit of early worry for Carnegie after going 1-0 down to National League 3 opposition in Highland, but 3 goals and a bit of a cushion at half time. Certainly no way job done, but for Carnegie they'll be delighted with where they are. And what would be the main messages from either side at half-time, Rob?
I think Highland just need to get back to how they were playing earlier on. They looked confident and comfortable, got a really good goal. Yeah, so they can take confidence from that they can cause problems. They had another couple of really good chances in that first half, and if they can capitalise on them, then they're definitely capable of getting back into this game. So they can definitely take confidence from parts of that first half performance. And for Carnegie, I think it'll be more of the same. They really came back into the game after going 1-0 down, settled really nicely, and they really dominated the play since then and got 3 well-worked goals. So I think it'll be more of the same for them, not to take their foot off the pedal, and just to keep going at this Highland team.
Remember, you can join in the conversation on this grand final day, or cup final day I should say. Hashtag Scottish Cup is the place to get in touch on Twitter, or if you're around and just want to be part of the occasion, you use that hashtag. Cup final to come, 4 o'clock start for that one. Grange and Grove Mingus meet again, as they tend to do at latter stages of the season in recent years, last couple of years. Carnegie looking for an early goal at the start of the second half. Bruce is the furthest one in the centre, but in there came Swift and turnover comes. Gordon Anderson there, getting a bit of early possession on that side. Dunfermline look to work from deep. Not quite the control for Smith. Now Carnegie battle through into the circle, looking for a foot, perhaps looking for something else. Glass there, taken down, I think well after the play.
I think he thought he won a foot there. I think the umpire might have played the advantage and they lost the ball just after that, but another encouraging attack from Carnegie. They're really causing problems down the right hand side.
Mackay from the long corner, touch in there from McFadden, couldn't control first time, Slightly more instinctive perhaps, could have taken the strike or got a strike away.
Yeah, it was a nice controlled delivery on the reverse into the D there, moved at the 5 metres and put a nice ball in there, but yeah, as you say, not quite clinical enough to get the control and a shot away.
Mason striding just behind though Bruce.
Yeah, I think he needs Bruce to hold out slightly there. He's run away from the support a little bit, but it was a really good break from Mason through the midfield, using those legs to stride away.
To Cook with the lob. What a lob, Udall! Oh, well, it's went wide anyway. Penalty corner has been signalled. It might have been very contentious if Udall had popped it in.
Yeah, I think Neil McAlpine blew his whistle a little bit too early there. I think most players in that situation would have liked the advantage to, after he'd taken it around the keeper. It worked out in the end after he put it wide, but I would have liked him to wait a little bit longer before blowing the whistle.
Got a chance though here, and Udall will take the injection here. So, looks a fairly simplistic routine. Mackay in the centre. McFadden behind. As McFadden, it's darted up and away it goes for another penalty corner, I thought.
Yeah, it's well run down. It's just off the shin guard there, but really good line from the number 1 runner there, blocking off that left-hand side of the goal.
Yeah, very quickly out there was Robertson. So maybe routine plan B. It's Mackay. Farino back into the injector. Another penalty corner. What's plan C then, boys?
Yeah, I think they've been put off by the fact that the first couple were run down by that number 1 runner, and they're looking to maybe move it around and look for an option.
Freddie Swift in the right area could be a threat. We'll see. Allen at the near or the far side as we look at it. Off the foot, play on, and advantage was superb there. Perfect for Ian McFadden, and Highland are not out of this yet.
The umpires are having a chat about something here, I'm not sure what. Yeah, definitely a goal. The first shot was blocked, so the ball can then go high for the second shot, and that's a great finish on the reverse there.
Now look from behind.
It's unfortunate again for Carnegie. They ran it down really well, just unfortunately fell nicely for the second phase.
I think 1 or 2 perhaps, maybe ourselves thought, well, 3-1, it might be really tough for Highland to get back into it, but they've had a promising little spell there. Udall there now looking for Swift, comes in there for Allen, kicked away, and now Dunfermline Carnegie rattled.
Yeah, really good spell for Highland here. They just need to keep their foot on the gas. You can see Carnegie have started to feel the pressure a little bit, making mistakes that they weren't maybe making in that first half.
Farden teasing that one back. Mackay, great ball in, but just going to be too high, I thought. Oh, the game is turning into a bit of a cracker here.
Yeah, a few of the Carnegie players just stopped there expecting the whistle, as opposed to just playing on and hoping that the decision comes their way, but they stopped and nearly got caught sleeping there.
Given away, McFadden. Udall turning for support. McFadden comes back. Just a little touch away. De Kock. Well, Highland are looking for like a penalty corner, and it's been given the other way.
Yeah, that was good defending there, just to get a stick in as they were winding up to shoot at the top of the D there. Did really well to get a stick in, nice and brave.
Little flick in there from Swift to get it back. The Cook now, Swift. Oh, and no one there to touch. Just a little too far away. I think it was that Allen was the closest to the post, but couldn't get near, quite near. Watson, couple of flicks, Swift just too far on, and a little kick out there from Matt Jones.
Yeah, this is really good pressure from Highland. Again, they're building the pressure in that opposition 25, and Carnegie are really struggling to get out here.
Mackay down that line, De Kock. It's fine there for Watson. No one in navy and pink.
Yeah, Carnegie just need to get their more experienced players to get a stick on the ball here, slow the game down, really take the sting out of it, because right now they're under a lot of pressure and they need these guys to step up and take the pressure off the game here.
Another flurry forward, Ross Watson. When he runs into glass. McFadden though coming together with Michael Ross. That is their free hit. De Kock swung it for Ross Smith. Oh, and it's got a touch! It's 3-3, the equaliser from Freddie Swift. What a game for their hands now.
Yeah, it's a really well-deserved equaliser. I'm not sure how much Swift knew about that touch there. But yeah, very well-deserved from Highland. They've really built the pressure in the second half. I might be have done him a disservice there. Maybe he did beat it, but he's in a really good position there, and Carnegie caught napping.
National 3-side Highland, full division below. Their opposition back in level terms. I mean, certainly worth it over the last 5-6 minutes. Will Carnegie go up? Continuing on, here's Wallace. There's tackles coming in, penalty corner coming in. And well, if I was going to say, if there isn't a card, you'd be doing well here, because the sticks are coming in galore. There is going to be a green card shown, and Mark Watson is sent, and you can see the stick going flying.
Yeah, it's excellent play from Wallace. Really driving run, made a really good tackle on the halfway line and just drove all the way into the heart of the D, and it's a really well won corner. Much needed for Carnegie to ease the pressure here.
So 2 minutes down to 10, and they do have a penalty corner here, Carnegie. As I say, this could just a bit of a settler to get themselves back in front, just get themselves a chance here. And Neil Robertson with the injection towards Doyle, and they're back in front, quick as you like. One of their main marksmen from the penalty corners has put them back ahead.
Yeah, really good response from Carnegie after just losing that goal for the equaliser. Did really well to get up the other end and win a corner, and as we were saying earlier, that's the difference. The clinical, that's their only real chance in the second half, and they've taken it.
Little nicking in for Doyle. His second, of course, got the stroke to get things back in level terms in the first half in the 13th minute. Now Dunfermline 4-3 in front here. Have Highland got more in their reserves after all that hard work?
Yeah, it's important they're not too disheartened here. They've played really well this second half. They've still got plenty of time to get back into the game. No need to change too much.
Ross flinging wide, just going to get away from Glass. Chris Smith there, looking for a bit of help. Mackay is captain alongside. Now forward here, Aidan Mahan. Watson came across against Stewart. Forward pass from Roberts. Back there was Allen. Good ball in towards the circle, didn't quite get collected though by anyone in red. Now Highland, can they break? Udall been relatively quiet so far, the big player for Highland, bar 2 line breaks and penalty corners, but penalised there, and now Glass flings it wide, looking for a back, Glass perhaps, Allen comes in to clear. Wallace. It's a rogue move and Highland get it back. Dunfermline have just stamped a bit more authority back in the game after going in front again. Yeah, they have there. After scoring that short corner, you can see they've regained a bit of confidence. They're a lot more comfortable in the ball and they're starting to dominate things. That looked quite deliberate, that foot there. He's lucky to get away without a card. Roberts wide, Habritsky on now. Heard a stick coming in, but play on.
Yeah, it looked like a stick tackle from here.
Ross. Glass fires, goal, yes. Given on the line, Paul Weston, and there's 2-goal cushion once again for Carnegie.
Yeah, again, it's the link up between Mikey Ross and Stephen Glass that's causing the problems here. He's just got too much space to wind up that strike, and it's great anticipation from the forward just to expect the save and anticipate the tap in. It's a good first save, but he's unfortunately not been helped out by his defenders to help clear that second ball.
So Highland back where they started when they were 3-1 down, needing 2 goals with 17 minutes left. They are 2 up behind. And Dunfermline will they feel that their 2-goal margin is a bit safer now. Is there energy for Highland here? Continues to be Carnegie in the sensei Doyle. So coming up against Mackay.
Yeah, it was good defensive play again from Highland, but you can see they're starting to tire. Their marking's getting a little bit more slack. Just that extra 2-3 yards off the pace by the looks of it just now.
Glass. McFadden penalised. Carnegie coming forward again in the D.
Yeah, it's important for Highland that they just try and weather this storm for the next 5 minutes or so and hope that they're still in it with just a 2-goal margin with the last 10 minutes or so to go.
Swift.
That was a very deliberate looking, more of a football tackle than you're used to seeing in hockey. I'm surprised that's not a long card. Neil McAlpine missed it, I think. You can see here his left foot tries to kick the ball away, and I'm not sure how he's managed to get away with that, but you can see why it's angered the Highland player.
Yeah, Robert Gillespie with what's going on, mate? Kind of innocence. And talk about Highland, they were kind of riding that little crest of a wave, and then the tides came in as soon as that penalty corner was given up the other end when they made it 3-all, and they've struggled to find their footing since. However, forward there was King. Way it goes. Can they build a few minutes and reduce their arrears to make it a bit of a grandstand finish? Turn by McFadden. Balled up off the body there. Penalty corner thought was going to come. Maybe this is the moment. Can they bring it back to 5-4?
Yeah, big opportunity for Highland to get themselves back in the game and hopefully build a little bit more pressure again like they did at the start of the second half.
Well, the second goal which McFadden scored came through a series of penalty corners, which the fourth or fifth one worked. Different injector though, instead of Gordy Udall, it's going to be across there, David King. It's going to be McFadden. It's one in. 2 penalty corner goals he scored, and Highland are still in this, fighting their way back again. 5-4.
That's a great flick. It's also a really good trap there from after the injection was slightly out to the right. Not totally sure that ball came fully out of the D there. It's difficult to tell, but if it didn't, then they might have got away with one there. But it's always difficult for the umpires to tell from the angles that they're at.
Here's another quick look here, Rob.
Yeah, I'm not convinced that the full ball came out of the D there, so lucky from a Highlands perspective that they've got away with that, but
13 to play. Best picking at the connection. Lofty ball here for David Harris. Herridale furthest forward. And there comes McFadden. On the turn here, McFadden trying to slip through.
it's amazing how much a goal changes the complexion of the game. Once again, it's Highland that have got their tails up and they're looking confident, and Carnegie again are sagging back into their own 25 and look like they're really under the cosh.
Watson trying to get it across, back it'll go to the 23. Another long corner. Mackay. Still alive, complaints. No, it's not going to come for Swift. It's going to be carry on and Dunfermline get away for now.
Yeah, I think he's given that for obstruction there in the D. It was difficult to tell with a lot of bodies, but a big claim from Carnegie seemed to get the decision.
Michael Ross then, wide it goes to Ethan McQuaid. Oh, it's came through off a couple of Highland sticks. Doyle couldn't profit. Highland get away with that, but still pressure here. Glass across. Oh, it's going to be a tap-in. And waiting there to receive Ewan Hadrutski with it. And they're just stretching their legs again with 11 minutes to play.
Yeah, again it's Stephen Glass down the right that's causing the problems here with a good ball across, and he's made that look really easy, but that's a very good first touch and finish from a difficult bouncing ball. It's actually really good movement as well, from he darts towards the near post and then pulls away, and the defenders lost him at the near post just for him to tap in.
One of the young players, Ewan Habretsky. So once again, 2-goal cushion, space. Doyle finding Roberts, who in turn finds further support forward there. Stick tackle in on Bruce. Final 10 minutes here. Certainly worked its way up to the second half to be absolutely thrilling.
Yeah, it's the third time in the game that Carnegie have had a 2-goal lead, but it's not seemed to quite be enough so far, and you don't get the feeling that the scoring's quite finished yet. So there's still plenty to play for in this last 9 minutes or so, and if Highland can get another goal, then you never know what could happen.
Swift frustrated nearly at it back. Oh, shaking the hand, dry shaking the hands there with Neil Robertson. Anderson. Bruce. Robertson all the way back. He sends Carnegie if they get one more. That should be job done. Should be. So is all I'll say in this kind of hear him, scare him sort of game. Driven by Ross, and now edging closer and closer. It's Mike going to find time here for Anderson. Glass away. You know, coming in for Highland, but now it's all Carnegie.
That was Wallace again with a really good, really important tackle from centre back. He's been excellent at that through the game, nicking ahead of the forward to win the ball and then starting an attack from there.
David Harris for Highland. Man, now McFadden through the middle. Here's Watson. Oh, a couple of players diving. Nearest to the goal was McFadden, but no one that close enough to get anything on it.
Yeah, it was a good delivery there. There was two of them waiting there. It was unfortunate that the first touch off the attacker took it away from his teammate.
Anderson.
I'd expect Carnegie now, with the experience that they've got in their team, to be a lot more conservative with their attacks. Attack maybe just with the front 4 or 5 and leave a lot of cover at the back. There's no need for them to go and commit too many players forward now.
Getting back to Cock here for Cooper. It was fair and square off the foot there of King, so a few more seconds tick downs forward and Dunfermline Carnegie ambitiously trying to get themselves to National League 1, of course, but was missed out in the playoffs 3 weeks ago. Been around for 110 years in various guises and 1 or 2 measures along the way. They were a bit worried about what they'd be doing next year for National League 1 because they couldn't play in their base in Dunfermline, which is not having one of these water-based pitches. They might have to maybe think about travelling further afield. So it's something they don't have to worry about for at least another year.
Yeah, they're unfortunate, Carnegie. They've produced quite a lot of good young players that are often end up going away for university and leaving for National 1 teams, which perhaps wouldn't happen if they did manage to get promoted into National League 1. There would be a bit more of a motivation to stay and play there. But yeah, as I say, they've got a lot of good young players playing today and have produced a lot over the years that hopefully, if they can make that step up, then they'll be able to build and keep these players.
Doyle 1-2 was exceptional, and there will seal things once and for all with Robert Gillespie waiting on the line, and the National League 2 side just stretching their legs, surely clear to victory.
Yeah, that'll have sealed the win there, and again it's down the right hand side. They've got a lot of success down that right hand side, coming along the baseline and finding the man spare at the back post again. Yeah, he's completely unmarked at the back post there. I don't think the Highland defence are aware that he's there, and it's as simple as the finishes.
Dunfermline 7, Highland 4 now on the scoreboard with 4 minutes to play. However, they're not done yet here. Watson balled up here, de Kock, and that ends that. Well, I mean, it doesn't feel like a 7-4 game now, but Highland, they'll have to give them a heck of a lot of credit, because they have been when they've had little pockets, because they haven't had wild, big and huge phases of play, but when they've had sort of 3 or 4 minutes here and there, they've utilised it really well.
Yeah, they really have. They've had a really good second half. They've tired a little bit towards the end of this second period after having a lot of, as you say, phases of play where they've been the dominant side, and it looked like they were really going to cause a bit of an upset here. But yeah, I think the legs have gone slightly, and Carnegie's clinical in the final third has really paid dividends in the end. That's good play from Alex Mason, just calming the game down, turning strong and keeping the ball.
Came through kindly here. Doyle trying to perhaps slip it back. Weston with the initial run. Bruce was waiting too. Perhaps a little microcosm, that tiredness creeping in, that they just managed to stretch their legs and break. No rush with the long corner. Glass takes it himself. Penalty corner there, bubbling up there off Chris Smith. Perhaps a good job it did in a way if you're a Highland supporter, because I think there's one or two, including Gillespie, waiting to tap in again at that back post.
Yeah, again it's the drive down the right, they cross across the D, and they're queuing up at the back post to get those tap-ins.
Neil Robertson, 90 seconds just under on the clock left. Tinjet perhaps looking for goal number 8. It's going to be Doyle. It's high, it's good, it's the cherry on top of the cake.
Yeah, he's flicked very well today. That's his hat-trick, I believe. One from the penalty spot, but 2 really strong flicks there off that far castle into the right hand side. Postman just steps out of the way slightly there. It's really difficult ball to pick off the line.
Yep, 2 from penalty corners, the penalty stroke, 8-4, hat-trick for Doyle. Perhaps puts a bit of a harsh gloss on that scoreboard for Highland, but perhaps as we talked about the ruthlessness of being that team further up, and perhaps there could be more cherries on top of the cake. As through the middle there is Ross, and they're going to have another one here, another goal at the end. An absolute delight there. I think it's McQuaid has got there, and as the hooter signals, it's now 9-4.
Yeah, it's very harsh on Highland. They've played a really good game and competed toe-to-toe for much of the game, but yeah, the legs just seem to have gone at the end, not having quite got the legs to track back, and that was a really nice counter-attack goal from Carnegie.
So there is the full-time hooter, and the final play was that 9th goal. 5-goal margin in the end, hard to believe that now, and if you followed the game with us throughout the course of the 70 minutes. But it is Dunfermline Carnegie who are plate winners after a difficult day 3 weeks ago here in the grand final stage, where they lost out on the chance of promotion. They've actually got silverware to take away with them this time around, as they are the victors in the national plate final, and a great little achievement for this club, which are up and coming, perhaps not the works in around forever, but a side that have really been going places in recent years, and perhaps sometime soon we'll see them in National League 1, but they will take the silverware. And for Highland, a good season in National 3, scored lots of goals, some young players there, which is great to see for hockey up north, and also those old guard there as well that have had their day here at the National Hockey Centre. We'll pick out some of the key goals. There's so many goals, 13 in it. We'll pick out some of them, and first of all, let's have a look. I think this is, trying to remember now, one of the early stages, perhaps the first goal we'll look at. Well, some of the other action as well in the first half particularly.
Yeah, that was a bit of a common theme throughout the game, that goal there, driving around the right, ball across the goal, and they were just picking off the finishes at the back post all the time.
This was them trying to get back into it when I think this was 2-1, and then they just stretched their legs a little bit, did Carnegie, but there was fight backs.
Yeah, there's a few really nice finishes from Highland. Just there, got a little bit lucky, the rebound falling for him in his reverse, but made no mistake in finishing it. The keeper had no chance there.
So this at 3-2, and this was to make it 3-3.
Yeah, it's a really nice delivery into the D, and he's he's in a really good position there. I'm not 100% convinced he saw the ball coming here. It just takes a nick off his stick and right into the corner.
He does look surprised.
Yeah.
And then very quickly they concede a penalty corner, go down to 10, and then Dunfermline score 2 quick goals, including this, and Doyle there with his second.
Yeah, Doyle very consistent with his flicks here. Strong flicks into the right of the goal. And this again was Ross and Glass linking up down the right hand side, and again they're queuing up at the back post to knock in the rebound.
Yeah, that was Weston there, Paul Weston. And then 5-3, more comeback time here for Highland.
Yeah, this is the contentious one. I'm still not convinced that came out the D, but it's still a very good flick into the corner.
Yeah, McFadden with a double. But that was when the scoring would end for Highland, and then it was a bit more one-way traffic as the second half went on, as the National 2 side again back post queuing.
Yeah, you'll see from this angle here, the number 13, it's really good movement, fakes to go into the near post and pulls away, and that's what's given him the space to open up the goal at the back post.
Yeah, it's only really the supermarkets you get queuing that's a bit better than that. There's just so many of them are coming in at the back post, waiting in an orderly fashion. Highland have just got their silver medals, and pick out kind of the one or two really good performances from Highland. Who would you kind of say be their player of the match, their man of the match?
Yeah, there's a few good performances from Highland. We mentioned a couple of them before the game. I thought the captain Gavin Allen had a good game, and there was a lot of good performances from the younger players there, and some really nice goals. That was just a bit too much for Carnegie. Just had a little bit too much for them in the end.
Well, the players for Dunfermline getting their moment of delight in this National Hockey Centre stage after the playoff defeat a few weeks back. Stephen Glass, the captain, influential. Talked about Matt Jones earlier, sticking around, not retiring and having one of the seasons of his life. And there's the wee one there as well, with Stephen Glass, the captain. Sporting thumbs up to the opposition. They played their part, and so have Dunfermline. That's a lift of the plate as they player or two to signal out quickly just from Dunfermline. We mentioned Highland, mentioned one or two there, but a couple of key performances for you that stood out.
Yeah, I thought Wallace was very good at centre back for Carnegie. Broke up a lot of the Highland attacks in that second half and really got his team back on the front foot. And obviously Stephen Glass and Michael Ross, we talked about them before the game, and in that second half they really managed to link up together, and that's what caused Highland a lot of problems in the end.
Okay, well, Rob, thanks very much for your thoughts for this one. Another goal fest, another thorough game here today. The big one to come then in the Scottish Cup final, a re-meet between two sides that have played quite a bit against each other in the playoffs. It is Grange and Grove Minnesell. That one at 4 o'clock. Do join us just before then for all the action live. But we'll leave you with the shots with Dunfermline Carnegie, your national plate winners for 2019.